Hi, I'm Katerina. You're watching Dontaesboxingnation.
Told me Monday something, and Monday means Tuesday.
Dontaesboxingnation, what's going on, guys? So I have been telling you guys for months that DAZN, they are having buyer's remorse. They realize that they fell for the bait when Teo walked in that office and told them, look, I'm the next big superstar. I'm gonna do 2 million pay-per-view buys, etc., etc. They believed him. They believed him so much that they went all in and bid $6 million just to get the Teofimo versus Kambosos fight, right? Ever since then, it's been a nightmare for Triller. The first fight got pushed back because of Floyd Mayweather fighting against Logan Paul. The second postponement was due to Teofimo pulling the COVID get out of jail free card. It was later reported by Leonard Ellaby that that fight had only sold 2,000 tickets when they were supposed to fight in June. Keep in mind, they were fighting on one of the busiest weekends of the year. There were about 5 fights taking place that week. Not to mention the most anticipated press conference in years took place that same week, which was Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. And before they pulled the plug on that fight, Triller got so desperate to sell tickets, they discounted the tickets at damn near 70% off. Like it was a going out of business sale. And they still weren't able to sell tickets, so that's when all of a sudden it became a good idea to pull the COVID card. So after that postponement, the fight would get pushed back another 3 times. And this is when the truth started to come out by Teofimo Lopez himself. Now I'm going to play the clip, but let me set this up for you. Teofimo did an interview on a show called Morning Combat, and he admitted that he feels Triller, they want out of this fight. They don't want to be a part of this fight anymore. Teo said that he believes Triller, they want to forfeit this fight. Let me go ahead and play the clip, and then I'm going to unpack all of this. Check it out.
Are you going to actually fight on Triller on October 4th? Let me bring in Teofimo Lopez Jr. Champ, you know I love you, but what the hell's going on?
Yeah, man.
I don't know, man. These people from Triller, man, they got something up their sleeve. But my whole thing is just we're staying focused. We're staying in the gym. We're doing what we have to do. And this is bad for the sport. This is bad for the fans, and this is the thing that is kind of frustrating. This is probably the 5th time that they're trying to move my date.
Hold on. I just noticed something as I just listened right now. I didn't think about this before, but he just said Triller, they done tried to move the date 5 times. 5 times would include the second time they moved the date, which was supposed to be because of the COVID situation. So what is Teo actually telling us? Is he telling us that it was Triller that came up with this excuse and presented it to Teofimo and he went along with it? That's how Teo just made it sound. Anyway, moving on.
In my fight, this is something that is out of my hands, really at this point.
The fight in question is obviously your mandatory defense against George Kambosos Jr., the unbeaten Australia product. But it's the rescheduling like you're talking about. It's the on and on. Is it true that from what I've read online reports that your team is standing firm? It has to be October 4th or nothing?
Yes, we're standing firm on it. I feel like this is too many times that they've changed the date. This is something that I've never experienced in my career of boxing. I've always dealt with ESPN and the people from Top Rank. And, this is something that is just, I understand that Triller is new into this platform, but this is not the way to do certain things, especially with an athlete like myself, who's undisputed. And a lot of people just miss me in the sport, man. They miss seeing Teofimo back in the ring. So, my whole thing is just, staying focused. I've been in the gym, staying ready always. And, I feel great.
All right, guys, we were building up to it. This is when Teofimo finally says he thinks DAZN wants out of this fight. Check it out.
Teofimo, from your vantage point, what exactly is causing the changes? I mean, I understand what the reasons are, like it conflicts with this sports game or another reason, but typically the promoter would sort of hammer that out up front. Like, from your vantage point, why does Triller keep running into these issues?
To be honest, I could only, there's certain things that sometimes I have on my mind. However, I try to steer away from the negativity of that. I think it's honestly just something that they're trying to find a way out, you know?
A way out of what?
And for whatever reason, that's on them. You know, my whole thing is I'm an athlete that brings a lot of entertainment into the sport, you know, and that's why they had brought me into their platform. You know, the whole thing now is just trying to figure out these things. You know, October 4th, Madison Square Garden is where we're staying at, you know, and if this is something that they try to forfeit, you know, then we have the people of DAZN and ESPN to come back on board, you know, so I'm not worried about it. You guys will see me fight this year. You know, my goal is to fight twice this year before my son is born and, you know, just move on from there.
Boy, that Triller relationship soured fast, didn't it? I remember it was only, months ago that Teofimo was actually dissing ESPN. He was saying, now see, Triller knows how to treat somebody, and he's wearing a Triller shirt. He's telling ESPN and Top Rank, I'm leaving ESPN, I'm leaving Top Rank, and I'm fighting for Triller. He was saying all of these things a couple months ago, and now look what he's saying today. You heard him just say right there, well, you know, I'm not used to being treated like this. You know, I'm used to dealing with ESPN and Top Rank. He's talking about the inexperience of Triller, and now he's admitting that he believes they don't even want this fight. Why don't they want it? I've been telling you guys for months, Triller has been doing nothing but losing money dealing with this fight. It was reported, and I had reported it about a month ago, that Triller said they had already lost a good $4 to $5 million just promoting the fight that got pushed back in June. So if you add it up with the $6 million they spent on the purse bid and another $4 or $5 million, we talking about Triller already been $10 to $11 million in the hole. There may be other expenses I don't know about. And clearly from the way Teo is talking, it sounds like Triller is in fear that they're going to lose even more money. This is a learning process for Triller because they made the rookie mistake of believing everything that Teofimo told them. So they spent the money without looking at the receipts previously. And this is the reason why Triller wanted to put this fight in Australia, because they know that Kambosos, he can sell tickets in his country, but apparently Teofimo can't sell tickets in his country. So it definitely made sense, if you were in Triller's shoes, to host this fight in Australia. But Teo didn't want it in Australia, even though before he was saying that was the only reason he was taking this fight instead of a Devin Haney fight, because it's going to be in Australia where there's going to be 60,000 fans in the arena. And he's going to be making $10 million and all this crazy stuff, right? For some strange reason, Teofimo is completely refusing to fight in Australia, which is crazy because you can't really use the quarantine excuse because he had no problem doing quarantine when he originally was going to fight in Australia. And like I already told you guys before, if quarantine was an issue, then you could just show up earlier. You don't have to show up the month of the fight. You could show up 2 months before the fight. That way, quarantine is not even an issue. You know, at the end of the day, this was a huge miscalculation on both parts, Teo and Triller. If Teo would have did what the fans wanted him to do, which is take the Devin Haney fight, he would have had none of these problems. The tickets would have sold, and he would have got paid actually more money to fight Devin Haney. But he made the mistake of trying to gamble, thinking that Kambosos was going to be an easier, safer fight, and now he's damn near lost money because of the postponements, and now the tickets are not selling. So this turned out to be a nightmare for both Teo and Triller. Hopefully, this wakes up people like Teo and he starts to realize, I'm going to have to fight the fighters that the fans really want to see me in the ring with. If he continues to go down this path of trying to look for the safest opponent and trying to convince people that these are the biggest fights, these things are going to keep happening to him. If I'm not mistaken, the Kambosos fight is going to be on pay-per-view. And just like Triller has gotten buyer's remorse, there's going to be a whole lot of boxing fans that's going to have buyer's remorse. Well, I won't even say buyer's remorse. They're not going to pay for the fight because this is not the fight that they actually want to see. Don't get me wrong. People are going to tune in, but nowhere near the amount of people that would have tuned in to a Teofimo versus Devin Haney fight. And you know what? Let me say this, man. It's really sad when I have to give reporters credit for asking real questions that reporters are supposed to already ask. But that's what happened in this interview. A lot of credit goes out to Morning Combat because I didn't play the rest of the interview, but guys, they were really putting pressure on Teo, asking him the obvious questions. They said to him, and it's funny because Teo tried to dance away from the question the first time, but they brought him back to the question. You know, they said to him, why would you want to move up to 140 when all of the biggest fights are at 135? Basically, what they were saying to Teofimo is, you guys are supposed to be called the Fab Four, the Super Four. Why would you not fight the guys in the Super Four and move on to 140? And it was funny because Teo, he kind of diverted from the question and started to talk about why he won't fight Lomachenko again, right? So he went on this long spiel talking about why he won't fight Lomachenko and didn't answer any of the question that was asked. So then they asked him the question again. But this time they said, do you think the fights at 140 are bigger than the fights at 135? And this is how Teo answered the question. And the way he answered the question, it tells you that he knows that they're not bigger at 140 because he didn't say yes or no. He just said, look, man, I've been trying to fight these guys at 135. All they do is talk. They really don't want the fight, etc. He started making up all of these things. Too bad, Morning Combat, they didn't know Teofimo's whole rap sheet, where he's already said on record demanding $10 million to fight Devin Haney, saying that he's going to send them a contract. And then the next thing you know, we find out he never sent them a contract. By the way, that's something else he said in this interview. He said, none of those guys sent me a contract. Why would Teo be saying none of them guys sent me a contract when he had just told us months before that he's sending out contracts to Kambosos and Devin Haney, and whoever signs the contract first, that's who he's fighting next. Even his own promoter exposed that as a complete lie. Bob said, come on, man. Fighters don't send out contracts. So anyway, even though Morning Combat, once again, they're not a boxing channel, they cover all sports. Even though they don't know everything that's going on, it's just sad that this inexperienced channel were asking the type of real questions that a Chris Mannix would never ask, that a Max Kellerman would never ask. Anybody involving old media would never ask because of their racial agenda of trying to protect Teofimo from fighters they believe Teofimo cannot beat, which are black fighters on the coincidental list, of course. Which is once again why Teofimo, when he did a poll on his own Instagram, this was right after Tank knocked out Leo Santa Cruz, and Teo, he asked his fans, who do you guys want to see me fight next? By Teo's own admission, they all said Tank Davis, right? Kevin Iole, an old media member who works for Yahoo Sports, he was listening to that live, and he sent Teo a message because Teo read it. And Iole, he said, hey, I want you to fight the winner of Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez, completely disregarding what the actual boxing world wants. He only cares about his own personal agenda. That's all he cared about. And his agenda is keeping these fighters away from the black guys that they cannot beat. Because Kevin feels that Teo can't beat them, right? So we know what time it is at the end of the day. But it was really interesting to hear Teo be honest for once and say, look, I think Triller doesn't want this fight. Guys, if you haven't noticed, this is the reason why my logo says the whole truth. Because how many times have you guys heard me say some stuff for months and months and months, and then the fighter himself comes out and confirms almost everything you guys have heard me say? You guys have seen this with Teofimo, and you guys have seen this with Tyson Fury. and many other fighters in the past. Listen, at the end of the day, going back to this fight with Teofimo and Kambosos, the only thing that came good out of this is all of the controversy, all of the politics involved. It did build this fight even more. And it has given a lot of fans confidence that Kambosos can actually win this fight. I had told you guys way before this fight was signed that I thought that Kambosos was a dark horse. I thought that he's going to give Teofimo hell in the ring. I don't know if he's going to beat him, but if he doesn't beat him, he's going to at least make Teofimo look bad. You know, Kambosos is a really good fighter. You know, I mean, he's not really known in the States, but he's a really good fighter. I'm not saying he's the next Roy Jones or Floyd Mayweather, but he's a good fighter. And I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls off the upset. So, you know, I'm looking forward to watching this fight. Hopefully it doesn't get pushed back again or just completely pushed off Triller completely as Teo just suggested. I was really hoping that Teo would stand his ground when he was refusing to have the fight, you know, get pushed back again, you know, a fifth time. Because like I said, after all of this drama, I can't wait to watch the fight. So let's see if the fight happens. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
Get ready to take your striking game to the next level with the Focus Ball. Dramatically improved footwork, timing, head movement, hand-eye coordination, reflex, and overall fight IQ. It's lightweight and extremely portable, so you can train every time, everywhere. When you don't have a coach to do mitt work, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a heavy bag to hit, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a sparring partner, get yourself a Focus Ball. And when you just want to have fun punching and kicking, get a Focus Ball. When you train with the Focus Ball, you train your eyes and your brain to read punches so that you can hit and not get hit, making this very simple device a must-have for all combat sports athletes and enthusiasts alike. So if you want to take your striking game to the next level, don't wait. Get the Focus Ball now.
All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, then this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO Key Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to lodkey.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the big day. SMPs at ScalpCarolinas. I need a real restoration. This is my makeover right here. So,
Fellas, I've got some great news for you. If you've lost your hair or have a receding hairline, the time has come when you can finally get your hairline back through a process called scalp micropigmentation. So here's how it works. It's a hair tattoo that replicates the look of your hair follicles when you have fully shaved it down. So to get this hookup, make sure you follow and contact my man ScalpCarolinas on Instagram.
What's up, everybody? This your boy Tony Flow Knight. Hey, make sure y'all go download the new album at www.shelltown5records.com. That's www.shelltown5records.com. Flames is all we got.